Time in this tournament, and the little layoff there into Fleming. Can they work it wide here to Lawrence? Well forward down the right hand side. She has Prince giving her the running option, and Prince into Lindahl. So a rather snatched attempt. Couldn't quite work out whether she was going to cross it or go for goal herself. In the end it was neither really, but they need a good, strong, positive start to the second half. Lawrence seeing plenty of the ball. Infield there to Fleming. It's Leon and Grosso, the two substitutes involved early. Good ball as well. Oh, Leon was there trying to meet it. Blanket defending. And Sweden played their way out of trouble. That's a delightful little touch from Blackstenius. Back it comes from Canada. There has been a lift in the tempo from the team in red.
And look how many players got forward in that attack. 4 Canada players led by Adriana Leon in the penalty area. And that's what Canada need in this second half. The bodies to aim for. Chapman bombing forward the fullback as well. Adding that extra body out wide. That's the key. 4 red shirts in the penalty area.
Well, no team has ever trailed at half-time in a women's Olympic gold medal match. and gone on to victory. The United States won 4 of the first 5 women's tournaments after the women were given a tournament in 1996, long overdue, in Atlanta. USA beat China that year. 4 years on in Sydney, they were in the final again, but Norway won an absolute thriller. Danny Melgren scored a golden goal winner in extra time. USA against Brazil, that was the next 2 finals in Athens and Beijing. USA won them both, and then also in London they beat Japan in the final before the run was ended by Germany and Sweden appearing at the Maracanã in 2016 in the showpiece match. And Germany won that. Marizan and an own goal from Sembrant before Blackstenius pulled one back. Stina Blackstenius now joins an elite club of players to score goals in the women's Olympic final in more than one tournament. Leon. Oh, Lindahl not convincing there, and finally it's shoveled away by Blackstenius. Leon, good early ball in as well. Good effort. Always rising though from Grosso. This introduction of Grosso and Leon has really shaken Canada up.
Well, this is exactly what you want as a manager when you make a double half-time substitution, to see players having as much of an impact as these two are already, and that's why you see the applause there from Bev Priestman. Julia Grosso never scored for Canada, but the 21-year-old is not short on confidence, and that wasn't a bad try.
Yeah, making a 27th appearance for the national team. Grosso, her Portuguese father, a mother of Italian descent. One of the clan in this Canadian squad who plays in the United States with Texas Longhorns. It's off the bench for the 4th time in this tournament. Try and work it with a little triangle, but the Sweden press and win the throw. Into Sinclair, and that ball just Saslani comes square. Saslani comes square, and Rolfo just tries to help it on there to Blackstenius. Away to Glass.
But we see the energy here from Canada with which they've started the second half. The closing, the pressing. Yes, they're holding their shape on occasion.
Good run this by Blackstenius. If she can shovel it across, she had Jakobsen up there. But there's an intervention at the back there. And isn't she?
What a difference she's made. And she's done this all tournament as well. And when you consider as well, she only returned in June after 3.5 months out with an injury. She broke her foot while on international duty with Canada. Had that spell on the sidelines, so missed the end of the WSL season in England with West Ham. Haven't played much before this tournament other than in the warm-up matches. But she shows such a spark and an energy and talent as well. Gets in the right positions, and if she's not in the centre, she'll be down the flanks trying to cross.
Chapman gets it full. Well, they've just got to guard against that again. Have the Canadians rushed pass forward, need to be more careful in possession. Goes without saying really, but the technique of the Swedes is such that any loose pass, any opportunity to get a foot in is hoovered up, and then they're on you. High press there from Jakobsen. Sinclair just trying to be the grease in the wheels there of the Canadian midfield. It's sent forwards, looking for Leon, but it's comfortably gobbled up again by Sweden, and that's exactly what they can do. Just have that composure, a little drop of the shoulder, the turn, and switching the angle of approach. Jakobsen, it comes through. Angeldal took it on and was stretching a little when she hit the shot, but they seem to always have bodies in support. They always seem to have an option in midfield.
Well, she's got a very good scoring record for Sweden, Filippa Angeldal. 4 goals in what is now her 17th cap. Not bad for the deeper position that she tends to play in, just ahead of Sagar in the central midfield, but not afraid to get forward and let fly on occasion.
Well, Prince with a really encouraging run, and then she just can't carry it on. And Lawrence penalised.
This is an important period of the game for Sweden here, because it's been all Canada, but we saw just a moment ago how beautifully the Swedes can move the ball, and again it just changes the momentum of the game, and that's the key for them right now. They've got the goal, they want to stay solid at the back, change the momentum of the game.
Well, Sinclair has not really had the kind of impact as she would like in her first major world level final. The foot in left there by Angeldal. In fact, it's a collision of the knees, isn't it? Really, and there's the follow through from Sinclair. But what a player. And what an incredible statistic she has. Her first international goal, Christine Sinclair, March 14th, 2000. That was in the Algarve Cup in Albufeira, all-time leading scorer in international football. Last goal, the last of 187, that came just the other week against the Japanese. It got the Canadians off and running in this Olympic tournament up at the Sapporo Dome. They need a little burst from their talismanic player here and now in the gold medal match. With the lead as slender as it is, Sweden are always going to be in a precarious spot, really, because all it will take is a free kick, a corner, a defensive mistake, and that's Canada back in it. But They're sort of in control and as comprehensively ahead as you can be at 1-0 here, Sweden. Chapman with the header. Blackstenius can't put it away there from Buchanan. Grosso gets it forward, the substitute. That is Sinclair. Good pressing there from Sweden. It's Blackstenius who just plays in Aslani. And there's Lawrence getting a foot in. Well, she's had an excellent tournament. As Lawrence on the right-hand side here. There's a lot of debate, actually, back home in Canada about what her best position is. Right-hand side of defence, so pushed a little further forward.
Well, as you say, she has been outstanding for Canada at this tournament, and we saw that again there. Slightly fortunate with the deflection, but I think it's one of those where you make your own luck. She earned it.
Angeldal, little reverse pass and the threaded ball through for Aslani. Okay, it was too heavy and Aslani couldn't get a toe end on it, but it's an indication of the invention and imagination they have about them in that final third, Sweden.
Better from Sweden. This is more what Peter Gerhardsson will want to see. And again, that bright 10-minute spell from Canada. Sweden are just bringing the press, and what they do so well is they press as a team. That's what you have to do. You can't have one or two players doing it. You go as a team when you go, and Sweden do. That tired pass from Fleming straight to Sega, and Sweden on the attack once more.
Held up by Aslani. Here come the supporting players. Touch back to Rolfo. Couldn't quite connect as she would have liked. It's Fleming. It's high and over the top. The best bet there is to win the second ball, but Sinclair snuffed out by Angeldal. And then Sega brings it on. Glass. Back to Angeldal. And again. And then into Fridolina Rolfo.
Ilestedt was heading back. Had to come back and get it.
Great run by Jakobsen and the spin. 2-2 match. He can't feed it in there to Blackstenius. But it was Jakobsen that time, bombing on. We'll switch back into Aslani. Oh, all the tricks now. And draws the challenge from Fleming back there.
Or change the momentum. That is exactly what Sweden have done in the last 5 minutes. This is more akin to how they finished the first half so strongly after scoring that opener, Christina Blackstenius. Time for Canada to hold firm.
That's Sinclair. For once she pushes on, creates problems. It was a lovely little cutback ball as well, by the way. Now then, what is Anastasia Pustovoitova about to do? Wow! VAR in the Olympic final. And Canada have a penalty. Ilestedt, you saw it on her face. You mentioned it there, Vicky. She knew, didn't she? She knew. And Sweden could be punished here for not converting their possession into a more comfortable lead in this final.
Now, this is fascinating. Who will take this? Christine Sinclair missed Canada's only penalty in the shootout in the quarter-final against Brazil. She gave the ball to Jessie Fleming in their last match against the USA, the late penalty that sent them through, and she's done it again. And you can absolutely see why. That's leadership, to say you're the one that's bang in form with the penalties. She was ice cold against the United States. What will she be here?
It's the Chelsea player, Jessie Fleming. Needs to keep her head. Huge moment. In this Olympic gold medal match. It's Jessie Fleming. It's 1-1. Superbly taken. Oh, she's done it again after the one against the United States in the semi-final. And we are all square now. In the gold medal match, it's up for grabs now.
What a cool head is on the shoulders of this 23-year-old woman. The biggest spot kick of her life. She took the biggest spot kick of her life just in the semi-final against the USA. Now it goes up a level. This is the gold medal match, and Jessie Fleming once again makes no mistake for Canada. A superb spot kick, and Lindahl can't produce the heroics that she did in the World Cup back in 2019 in the last 16. Then she saved from Becky. She couldn't save from Fleming. Could that be the turning point?
Here comes Leon. Canada pouring forward now and full of beans. The ball cut back. Sweden able to defend it, but the pass is under hit. And Canada have it with Grosso. Now it's Chapman. The 3-2 match just lined up across the edge of the Swedish penalty area there. Little lift over the top for Lawrence. Good ball in by Lawrence. Lindahl just there, ahead of Rose. Oh, what has happened to Sweden all of a sudden?
Goodness me. What a chance for Canada to take the lead. And I'll tell you what, Lindahl coming here in Rose, I mean, there's another penalty shout right there for Canada. Rose gets the ball. Lindahl clatters into her.
And Lindahl is nowhere near the ball.
The ball is so far. Gone. The ball is so far gone. You wonder if the referee will have a look at it. There were no real appeals there from Deanne Rose, who won the penalty in the semi-final against the USA. Canada corner though.
Leon to take it. Canada in the ascendancy. There's a buzz about them. It's into the near post, and Sweden are going to have to scramble here. Brilliant touch there to get the ball back out to Leon, and the substitute Grosso there. Follow-up shot is over the top. Sweden pegged back. Fleming once more. Oh, she couldn't keep the effort down, but totally unattended on the edge of the area. Just too high.
Well, we said how goals can change momentum, and my word, has it changed it for Canada. Easily they could be ahead in this gold medal match. How will Sweden respond now?
Well, it's all about moments, isn't it, sport? And just seizing the day. Gerhardsen had seen his team in charge of this fight, but credit to Bev Priestman, the Canadian coach. She made changes at half-time. She went for broke. And how they're being rewarded now. We're inside the last 20 minutes of an engrossing Olympic final in the women's football. started this tournament with Anderson playing in at left back there. And Bennison too comes on off the bench. In this competition for the 5th time. I make that the defender from Rosengard. So, all change for Sweden.
She's a very bright young player, Hannah Bennison. Just 18 years old, youngest player in the squad. Real high hopes for her, playing at her first major tournament, and now on one. Again in a gold medal match.
Blackstenius. Sega. Hertig came into the under 8 minutes of normal time to go in the gold medal match in women's football at Tokyo 2020. Aslani, Rolfo. That's a cute little pass by Sid. That's a cute little pass by Sid. That's a cute. Little pass by Sega into Glass, up from right back again, trying to take on Chapman. Glass still has it. Rolfo was the option.
And again, who's there for Canada? Desiree Scott. Her reading of those situations in her own penalty area has been nothing short of sublime. For Canada tonight.
It's Sega. Attacking from deep, swept through by Aslani, but not the connection that she would have wanted. Gerhardsson and Sweden's chickens have come home to roost here, because this is exactly how they approach the second half of the semi-final against Australia. A goal up and happy to sit on it, really. Australia rallied, but they were unable to get that equaliser. Sweden in the end can't get over the line, but Canada have not let them do that here in the final. And there's possibly an issue here with Jessie Fleming.
Well, she is probably the one player that Canada will not want to see come off at the moment, particularly heading for extra time and considering her record from the spot, 2 out of 2 in the 2 biggest games at this tournament, against the USA in the semi-finals and against Sweden. view well there, because it's so awkward for her to get her body back into the right shape. She's alert, she gets back on the goal line, she adjusts, and she manages to clear it away. But big opportunity for Sweden, and not time for too many more.
And the body language from Blackstenius there, just pull it back. In the end, she neither shot nor squared it. Great challenge. Fleming turns back into traffic though. Sweden with Aslani just with the foot in, but that's a foul. Well, is he going to go the way of so many of his predecessors, getting Sweden all the way into a final, but then coming up short? We're into stoppages at the end here. They've made 5 major finals since that Euro 1984 win, Sweden. Lost them all. That was Bennison. Grosso. Rose coming short for her. Back with Buchanan. Well, lifted over the top to Huitema. Panicking Bjorn there. And she's won it back superbly. Tries to get it back into Fleming. Picked up by Rose. Sweden have time now to get back at their defensive stations, including Hurtig, who shuts down the pass from Lawrence.
Well, Sweden's turn to put in a sliding challenge. They're excellent on the edge of the area from Bennison. Had she not made that, Canada were in.
Desiree Scott still going. Right in there on Bennison. And we're seeing a few lunging challenges now as legs inevitably get heavier. There's Glass. Into stoppages. And Blackstenius is shepherded out of play there by Alicia Chapman. Illister being launched into the box, incoming. Headed away by Scott. Rose tries to complete the clearance. Oh, that looks a little bit loose. There goes Leon. What's she caught? On we go. Nothing wrong there, says the referee. It was on by Bjorn. And then Bennison, Rodolfo. Chapman across to her. Rodolfo just can't hold it up.
Moving forward, neither side has stopped giving it absolutely everything from an attacking point of view. It is just brilliant to see this positive attacking play, and it looks as though we're going to have another half an hour of it.
Bennison for the final seconds. Down here at the end of a compelling 90 minutes of football in the Women's Olympic final for the first time since 2008 in Beijing. in the semi-final against the United States. It's deserving the captain's armband for Canada after the substitution. Sinclair not on the pitch anymore. So tense. Well, she can barely take it in, really. I mean, contributed so much to the Canadian national team down the years. And now, here they are in extra time of an Olympic final. She's not on the pitch. She's not able to influence.
And not able to take a penalty should it go that far, having missed in the penalty shootout against Brazil.
Extra time in the women's Olympic football final at Tokyo 2020. 90 minutes wasn't enough to separate these two. Blackstenius with the first half goal for Sweden, scoring in her second Olympic final. And that was an advantage scrubbed out by a superb penalty from Jessie Fleming. So repeating the trick after the semi-final converted against the United States. And Bev Priestman made those changes at half-time. It shook them up. It shook Canada up in the right way. Sweden were unable to deal with them. Fresh life, fresh legs. Hurtig. That's the pass into Rolfo. There's room here for Fridolina Rolfo down the right-hand side. And she can drag it across. It's too high, though, for Blackstenius.
And Sweden had the late arrivals there. If she just held 1 second longer.
Went the distance. The USA had enough on both occasions. Scuffed away. That's a miscue. Drops for Hurtig. She was very casual. Can't cope with the pace. The pass in behind here. Oh. Rose. Great run. That's when you need that composure. I thought they were in. Lawrence has been an absolute warrior.
Well, it's a brilliant run from Ashley Lawrence. Perhaps just too much weight on the pass. But once she sees that Deanne Rose, rather than going for goal on the stretch from that angle, she's got to trap it and look for attacking options. And Alicia Chapman's night is over. Jade Riviere back from suspension after missing the semi-final off the bench and on.
Well, it's another of the youngsters at just 20, Jade. But it's the energy, isn't it? It's the energy, it's the fresh legs. Sweden still have changes in the locker too, but Gerhardsson sticking at the moment. I really like the positivity from Bev Priestman.
And as you say, she's putting her faith in youth. And it is remarkable. Both Heitemer and Riviere were born the year after Christine Sinclair made her debut for Canada. I mean, we've seen all ends of the spectrum here. And the Canada great is off the pitch now. What can the two youngsters do in her stead?
Fleming helping it forward. There's Leon. A give and go there from Fleming. Good ball into the near post. Deanne Rose making the beeline for it. Sharp defending, in fairness. All of a sudden she's come alive, Deanne Rose.
Well, she's getting in all the right positions, isn't she? Can she find a way to make that clear connection? And Gilles up again. Sweden do have the height in there defensively, but we've seen what Gilles can do from corners, hitting the bar with a header against Brazil, looking dangerous from a couple of set pieces in this match.
Adriana Leon, she's going to cut it back. Again, they're going to try and play rather than slinging the ball into the box, but that is a good ball from Leon. Picked up by Lawrence. Tasty cross that. Sweden can't deal with it. Eventually it's shoveled away. Fleming. Grosso. Little spin there from Grosso. Fine attempt to which Lindahl plucks out of the Yokohama sky.
Well, that would have been fabulous from Julia Grosso. Again, playing with such confidence. Too close to Lindahl with the shot.
Rolfo went to ground, had to get herself upright again, pretty sharpish. Neither team want to take this to penalties, do they? They want to win it in extra time.
And you can say that both teams have brought their A game. They've played close to the levels that they know they can reach. Of course, there have been errors and lapses. You get that in football. You'll never have a perfect game. But I think both sides will look back, particularly Canada, on this gold medal match and think, you know,
check back, working space for the shot. Rolfo, it trickled wide. I think the goalkeeper there
would have got there to put it over. Decent effort from Anderson.
Anderson from Chelsea, that solitary goal in 59 international appearances. The third
for Sweden, other than picking up the yellow card, which just means she has to be a little bit careful for the remainder of extra time. So much can affect you at this stage when the stakes are so high.
Rose, well played, Rose. She has Leon to aim at far post. Rose will scamper and win back possession and shoot. It hit her own teammate there, Itamar. Will tidy it up here for Sweden. And well, that's okay in the circumstances. Just playing it off Fleming. Back off for the goal kick. This is spectacular venue. Roof shot from the drone up there, looking down onto the action at the Yokohama International Stadium. Deanne Rose. I'm afraid that was a little bit rushed. It will start happening now, the misplaced passes. Sega forwards. And Buchanan just with a swipe at it. You can tell by her body language on the follow through there. Yeah, you just need a break now. It may well come at the interval before penalty kick, should we get that far. Change arounds in the midpoint of extra time, usually pretty quick, aren't they? Still nothing to choose between Sweden and Canada in the women's football gold medal match at Tokyo 2020. Those goals from Blackstenius in the first half, and then the penalty from Jessie Fleming. Sinclair can't dictate matters on the pitch now. She can just use moments like this to get in amongst the pack and give a little word in the ear maybe to some of the younger players. A long and grueling Olympic tournament. And the gold and silver still not decided. This is the second period of extra time at the end of the women's gold medal match at Tokyo 2020. Sudden death extra time is a thing of the past, but it happened 21 years ago in Sydney when the Norwegians got the better of the United States. It's the more familiar ground of penalties if normal time and extra time can't split the two. Credit the way both of these teams, Sweden and Canada, have tried to win the match before we get to spot kicks. Yeah, Olivia Skog is on, and Ambergard too, the forward players who've done their bit as squad members in this competition. Skog, a survivor from the silver medal performance 5 years ago, surely on with penalties in mind.
Ambergard has been very impressive domestically in Sweden. She's just joined Everton in the WSL in England, but the top scorer in the Swedish top flight for the last 2 years running. And again, Peter Gerhardsen making the decision. Absolutely, I'm sure you're right, it is for penalties, but to give them 15 minutes to get in the game too.
Good ball in. Ertig maybe wants it on this left-hand side. Another clattering challenge. They've been superb. Gillian Buchanan at the back there for the Canadians here. You know you're going to have to be alert with players of the craft and guile of Rolfo Aslani, Jakobsen and Blackstenius. They're playing almost as that front four. Anderson with the throw. Loose from Ertig. Goes Leon, it breaks for Desiree Scott. Glass. Benison. Oh, dangerous, just in that no man's land in between the last defender and goalkeeper. No one gambling, no one attacking the pass there.
Absolutely. Really wasn't sure. Such a difficult ball for a goalkeeper to deal with, and in the end, Riviere just got enough on it.
indicative really of Canada's defensive performance. They've got something on it on each and every occasion. Stays at 1-1 here. Lawrenson will have to try and thrust that forward. Canada with more defending to do. Back in field it comes to the captain, Sager. She tries to nudge it in. Super run there by Angevard. And then the shot from Benison. Takes a nick on the way through. Another controlled move here. Super run. She rather snatches at it. Well, are they to continue holding out this aerial bombardment with Sweden winning all these corners? Sling it in the box and see what can be achieved again. Canada have defended so resolutely in this final.
Well, they wanted something else there, Sweden. VAR was certainly having a little look. But the referee happy, just the corner.
Plenty in there, as you may expect. Oh, look at that. Scrummage almost on the edge of the area. Glass hits it. And it's sliced away by Riviere.
What panic there in the penalty area. 8 players didn't know where that ball was.
Anderson just plays it down there to Angevard. All the way back to Lindahl. They can hear the clock ticking down towards penalty kicks here. The players of Sweden and Canada so tense now. Hurtig turns. And the smoothness of the movement plays in. Anderson, deflection on the cross. Oh, I thought that was the moment. It's Anderson again. Ping pong in there.
How have Sweden not retaken the lead there? Goodness me. What a let-off for Canada. It all started with Jade Riviere being pulled out of position from the right-hand side. She recovered to get a deflection that almost spun into Labbé's net. Canada living so dangerously. Will there be time for another Sweden attack?
Yeah, wave after wave now of the Swedish pressure. Sager, clever. One pass too many in that attack, but they've won it back finally. It's Aslani. It's pushed wide. Lawrence committed. Sweden come again. And it's Hurtig with another opportunity. Now then, that is not why she's been brought on. 2 chances. And twice she's headed wide under minimal pressure.
Oh, Lena Hurtig. She knows how much better she can do with that. 2 golden opportunities, and you see by the screen She is a player that can dominate in the air, but even if she's not, any forward player would hope to get that on target. Huge opportunities going begging for Sweden.
Rose forced out wide, takes Ortega with her.
It's not only the obvious fact of missing the goal there, it's if they then head into the penalty, what does that do to your opponent when you just get this sense that luck is with you going into a penalty shootout? Is it our time?
So this is Emma Kullberg now of Häcken. Ilestedt is the player who's gone off, so you would think that Kullberg is on here to take a penalty. We're in the last minute of extra time in the gold medal match in the women's football at Tokyo 2020. They're already breaking new ground with these two teams in the final. And we're going to continue with that tradition as well, with the first ever penalty shootout to decide the gold medalist in the women's Olympic football. Happened in the men's competition. Never before in the women's, but there goes Hurtig. The replacement for Blackstenius had two glorious chances to win it. Hasn't happened, so could it be Bev Priestman and Canada who emerge with their first gold, or will it be the Super Swedes of Gerhardsson? So Zadorsky, the defender who started this competition before losing her place, she's going to come on at the end here. Shalina Zadorsky. Well, she's put a shift in. Goodness me, has she? Desiree Scott.
And that was nervous for Canada there, because they need to make this substitute before the end of the game, and you could hear Bev Priestman screaming, because if the ball doesn't go out of play again, which it may well not, they're not been able to get the Tottenham captain, Shalina Zadorsky, on, and again, she's coming on for one reason.
Yeah, 75 caps now for the Spurs player Zadorsky. And just in the nick of time, they get her in play. Well, Rose, she's been a thorn in the side of the Swedes since coming on. But it's anyone's final now. We're past 120 minutes. And for the first time in the history of women's Olympic football, the gold medal will be decided by a penalty shootout. Nothing to choose in Sweden and Canada. In truth, the Canadians were hanging on at the end here, but now we're into a shootout. Well, who knows? Who knows? It could go either way here. So it all comes down to this. Sweden needed a couple of shootouts to win the silver in Rio 5 years ago. They may just need the one here to win the gold medal in Tokyo 2020. We're in uncharted territory in terms of women's Olympic football.
Well, this is something that Canada at Tokyo 2020 do have experience of. They came through a quarter-final penalty shootout against Brazil. The one player that missed, that player there, so surprising. Christine Sinclair, their captain, the all-time leading goal scorer in international football. She has been substituted, so she will not take the opening penalty. Jessie Fleming has scored twice from the spot for Canada in games. She scored in that shootout against Brazil, as did Lawrence, Leon and Gilles. Gilles, fantastic penalty from a centre-half. Hers was the pick of the bunch. But Sweden in Hedvig Lindahl have a goalkeeper who is so good.
Neumann missing for the Netherlands. It's quite uncanny, actually, the way the go-to players can sometimes be the ones to miss in these pressure point situations.
Well, we said at the time it was interesting from Bev Priestman to take Christine Sinclair off at the end of normal time.
Which went all the way, so they have survivors from that group. They've been there, they know what it's like. Wonderful drone shots again of this Yokohama International Stadium venue. It was a thrilling final in the Men's Football World Cup back in 2002. That was the tournament of Ronaldo. Will this be the tournament of Sweden, or will it be the tournament of Canada? Penalty kicks will decide the destiny of the gold medal in the 7th Women's Olympic football tournament. And this frighteningly good technology puts you on the pitch alongside the players. So, Kosovar Aslani up first.
once again, she sends Lindahl the wrong way. Calmness.
Nothing of the double bluff as well, because she went into the same corner. Ashley Lawrence is to maintain the Canadian advantage in the shootout. She's had a fabulous tournament, a fabulous final. Unfortunately, though, her penalty is saved.
Three of the biggest penalties she will ever take in her career at these Olympic Games, and she has scored every single one. And I don't think she can hardly believe it.
Nothing of the double bluff as well, because she went into the same corner as the one in normal time here. So Aslani, having missed the first penalty for Sweden, will now watch as Bjorn steps up. Oh, tidily done into the corner, and Sweden on the board.
Well, we talk about pressure penalties. This was a pressure penalty for now.
Still required here, though, from the spots. Oh no, off the frame of the goal. So she follows Ashley Lawrence. Well, when you've been so impressive in the match proper, it's tough to see that.
And she took such a superb penalty in the shootout against Brazil. It was
So it's Ambergard, the next up for Sweden after that miss from Aslani. Bjorn and Skog have scored. This to make it 3 in a row, and a 3-1 lead in the shootout. No, Labe across. Decent height for the keeper. She still has to extend a little bit and go up high, but that's a miss. And this shootout continues to rock and roll.
Well, we said before penalty kicks began, these two goalkeepers will back themselves. And Stephanie Labbe backed herself there. Again, it's a similar save to the one that Lindahl made. As you say, good height. Two off the woodwork as well, one apiece. If Canada can put this away, we are back level.
Leon slotted the penultimate kick for the Canadians against Brazil in that quarter-final.
Cleanly, the West Ham player scuffs it, and it's easy for Lindahl. And now Canada's hopes rest on their goalkeeper Stephanie Labbe, because Sweden are one penalty away from Olympic glory.
Sager. She scored against the United States in the quarter-final 5 years ago from the spot. She scored against Brazil in the semi-final shootout 5 years ago from the spot. It's Sager for glory here for Sweden. Oh no! She skied it! Wow! Incredible! From one of the most experienced players left on the park. And she's missed the target entirely.
Well, this is what pressure can do to you. Even if you are one of the greats of the game, a Swedish legend, a woman with so much experience. When a gold medal, the first Olympic gold for your country, is at stake, that's what can happen. But Canada still have to score this penalty.
So this to keep us going in the shootout. Rose, she has to score. She does score. Superbly placed into the top corner. Wonderful penalty. And she was so impressive after coming on in the match as well.
Wow. What calmness under pressure. That is the best penalty of the night. And everything was riding on it for Canada. Lindahl, absolutely no chance. Christine Sinclair with a huge roll. There's nothing she can do. She's been taken off in normal time. She can't take a spot kick. And we're into sudden death.
Who's going to blink first? Anderson, left-footed. Again, it wasn't a good delivery. Labbe, down low to her left with the save. And now Canada are on the verge of the gold medal.
There's your answer. Sweden blink first. Not Labbe. And for the first time in this shootout, Canada have the chance to outright win the gold. They've been hanging on. They needed a miss. They needed a big save.
Gold for Canada. They're first in the women's football at the Olympic Games after those back-to-back bronzes in London and Rio. Look at the release. Look at the celebrations after a stunning shootout. They stuck in there with Sweden. They got back into the final with a penalty from Fleming. And they have held their nerve, not the Swedes, in the shootout to win a gold medal in such dramatic circumstances. Gerhardsson and Sweden left absolutely shattered. It is Canada who have the gold